Welcome to the latest episode of Double Feature. I'm your host Pedro, and today I'm bringing you two entries that perfectly tapped into the audience's change of heart around a specific group in our society, the 1% or simply the rich.
Come on, baby, eat the rich, but the bite of the son of a bitch.
During most of the 1970s, the US and most of the Western world went through a period of stagflation, with most countries experiencing both high inflation and low economic growth. Add to that a general declining trust in politicians and political institutions, and you get a very cynical and critical audience.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
This sentiment, demonstrated in different ways, was particularly felt in the entertainment industry. Audiences shunned titles praising the rich and powerful, and jet-set films or movies depicting the elites in a positive light were losing audiences' attention and box office receipts. Take for instance the last entry in the airport franchise, the Concorde, Airport 79, which earned $13 million against a $14 million budget. And the critically panned The Greek Tycoon, loosely based on Aristotle Onassis and Jackie Kennedy. But by the early 1980s and throughout most of the first half of the decade, audiences had developed a new attitude towards content of this nature. And nothing proved this better than the television rating juggernauts Dallas and Dynasty. Whilst both shows' initial appeal focus on common people relishing the problems and personal dramas of the very wealthy, audiences soon engaged with these shows on a very different level. The characters, which embodied the social and cultural values of the time, started to nurture an aspirational feeling in those who watched the shows. A feeling that went far beyond mere escapism. But by the mid-1980s, with the proliferation of the yuppie culture, audiences were soon saturated with all the opulence and lavish lifestyles of these characters, and the entertainment industry quickly caught on this shift. Soon, satires like Down and Out in Beverly Hills starring Richard Dreyfuss and Bette Midler, and Head Office tapped into the outrageous and over-the-top behaviors and beliefs of the extremely well-to-do. A subgenre that was also very effective in satirizing the very wealthy was the horror comedy. During the second half of the 1980s, several titles took the caricatures portrayed in titles like Down and Out to a whole new extreme. John Carpenter's They Live was a clever horror movie about a drifter who makes a shocking discovery when he finds a pair of special sunglasses that make him see the world for what it really is, controlled by aliens disguised as humans who are indoctrinating the public with subliminal messages. Brian Usna's Society follows an ordinary teenage boy from a rich family who discovers the hidden reality of the Beverly Hills elite. And J. Michael Murrow's Street Trash? Well, that's just plain fun. So today I'm bringing you two titles that offer a sardonic social commentary on consumerism and the influence of corporations on society. Two movies that explore the themes and concepts of paranoia and suspicion in the standardized world. Also, these two pictures that I'm going to talk about today don't feature the only great billionaire we will ever respect, the great philanthropist Steve Gutenberg.
We are under alien attack by a popular dessert known as the Stuff.
Here, Jason, take some.
No! There is something alive in there.
Tasty!
There's something alive in yogurt. It's called benign bacteria.
In the Stuff, an unusual white substance is discovered bubbling out of the ground by a miner. This mysterious goo is sweet, creamy, and highly addictive. Marketed as the Stuff, it quickly becomes a nationwide sensation, surpassing popular ice cream brands. As people indulge in this irresistible dessert, they become addicted, craving it day and night. However, a young boy named Jason, played by Scott Bloom, becomes suspicious of the Stuff when he notices it moving on its own late at night. He shares his concerns with his family, but they dismiss his worries. Meanwhile, former FBI agent turned industrial saboteur David Mo Rutherford, played by Michael Moriarty, is hired by a group of ice cream executives, which include food mogul Charles W. Chocolate Chip Charlie, to investigate the stuff's secret recipe. Despite the seemingly serious premise, the film's creator Larry Cohen, a man responsible for such titles as Cube and It's Alive, never intended the movie to be taken seriously. And there's no better proof than the Texas-sized plot holes present in the stuff.
You got a gift, my friend.
I mean, how does a burbling goo found in the ground become the #1 fastest growing food product in the world?
A wizard did it.
Still, the stuff is quite an enjoyable watch for very different reasons. I'd say first there's the acting. Michael Moriarty's take on a disgraced ex-FBI agent who has been hired by a bunch of ice cream magnates to steal the secret is a joy to see, with incredible lines such as this one.
Rutherford, Mo Rutherford. You know why they call me Mo?
No, why?
Because every time people give me money, I always want Mo.
Well, you know, Mr. Rutherford,
Yes, sir?
I don't think you're quite as dumb as you appear to be.
No one is as dumb as I appear to be.
Then of course there's the whole fictional promotional material around the stuff, from the annoying ads,
It's great every way, can't get enough of the stuff.
The stuff, the taste that makes you hungry for more. Enough is never enough. The stuff, taste that delivers.
Enough is never enough of the stuff.
How's the food, sweetheart?
Ah,
That's nice.
where's the stuff?
The stuff is here now. Great new taste sensation. Light and free now. Gives you elevation.
Enough is never enough. Enough is never enough of the stuff.
The stuff, the taste that makes you hungry for more. The stuff, taste that delivers.
to the mind-numbing blurb delivered by what could easily be seen these days as just another loudmouth influencer.
When I was a little girl, I didn't think there was anything that I liked better than ice cream. Now I'm a big girl, and I've decided there's something I like better. Much better.
I mean, is she promoting the stuff or cocaine? When all is said and done, the stuff is simply a blast to watch. Even almost 40 years after its release, it's still somewhat relatable. After all, the movie easily works as a double take on those annoying health freak meal prepping friends we all have, and the body positive shamans that have taken over social media. Using horror and satire to critique consumerism, corporate greed, and the blind trust people often place in popular products, the film combines elements of comedy, horror, and social commentary to deliver a unique and entertaining cinematic experience. One that certainly will leave you full.
Coming soon, Randy Quaid, Mary Beth Hurt, Sandy Dennis, and director Bob Balaban bring you a fresh look at family life.
Hi.
The Lemley family is moving up in the world,
Rise and shine!
but something is eating at young Michael Lemley.
You're not scared of your room, are you?
Michael, the cellar's dark. Everything's dark at night.
His parents think Michael's problem is in his head, but Michael knows.
Set in the 1950s, Parents follows the Lemley family as they move to a quiet suburban neighborhood. The family consists of young Michael Lemley, played by Brian Radorsky, his seemingly perfect parents Nick, Randy Quaid, and Lily, Mary Beth Hurt. The Lemleys appear to be the typical American family, but underneath their picturesque facade lies a dark and disturbing secret. As Michael starts school, he begins to notice unusual behavior in his parents. He becomes increasingly suspicious when he discovers his father bringing home mysterious meat from his job at Toxico, a chemical company. Despite his curiosity, Michael's parents insist that everything is fine, but their eerie demeanor and strange habits start to deeply disturb him. by now you can quickly deduce what dark secret the Leemley family harbors. The film tries to throw some red herrings at us, making us question certain scenarios that seem suspicious, but on the other hand, could be entirely innocent. But it doesn't do a very good job at it. I mean, it's as obvious as any other forgotten 1980s horror gem. But what makes Parents a truly unique satire is how it plays on the cyclical nature of nostalgia. Many hits released during this period that look at and assess the 1950s do so through rose-tinted lenses. Titles like this one are keen to approach the negative aspects of that decade by engaging in an extreme portrayal of suburban nightmare. The film is also effective in capturing the rebellious essence of youth in the 1950s by opposing parents and their children. We experience the whole thing through Michael's eyes and his growing disgust with his parents, their authority, and I guess, their beliefs. The acting simply works with this movie, a rare thing in the horror title. Randy Quaid has never been this terrifying, and this is saying a lot considering he once played an incestuous redneck who tries to con his distant relatives into subsidizing his lavish lifestyle. Lastly, the editing and cinematography are simply outstanding. The nightmare montages where colors fade and the scenes overlap with each other are psychedelic and really add to the weirdness, as shown in this scene. The camera angle zooms on Michael's face, adding more depth to the character. It also shows an isolated child, alienated from what should be a safe and relatable environment. I think overall Parents is something bigger than just a horror comedy. It's an expose on the dark, often ignored events during a period that's considered to be glorious. It is also a movie that really is about the loss of innocence and blissful ignorance. Check out this scene where the mom references the dad's workplace at the factory, which is actually a chemical warfare production facility.
That's hard to say. I would have to say many things and just leave it at that.
Lastly, this movie is a tale of how conformity and fitting in are critical if you want to be a successful psychopath like Nick. So if you ever wondered what it looked like if David Lynch directed an R-rated Twilight Zone episode, if you are into satirical revisionism, and if you are keen to watch a deranged Randy Quaid.
Oh, boys! I'm back!
Even more deranged Randy Quaid.
Now I'd like to explain a little bit about the Peter Blunt system. You see, I don't go in for lawsuits and motions or any of that legal stuff. No. See what happens is I find out where you live, and then I come to your house, see? And I beat down your door with a fucking baseball bat! And then I'm gonna make a bonfire with a Chippendale, maybe roast that golden retriever, then eat it, and then I'm coming upstairs, Junior, and I'm gonna grab you by your Brooks Brothers PJs, and then I'm gonna take your brand new BMW and cram it up your tight ass!
Then Parents is your go-to choice. Just don't watch it on an empty stomach.
Get a good look, Costanza?
Once again, I'm Pedro from Vinyl and Celluloid, thanks for watching. And if you are interested in finding out what I thought about other titles, go over to my Letterboxd page where you can find over 300 movie reviews covering both the latest releases and the classics. Until next time, keep the reels rolling.
Shutterstock